So, if you have seen any videos on my channel before, you know that I am a big fan of The Legend of Zelda. I mean, the very first video that I put on this channel was a tier list of The Legend of Zelda games that I played, what I thought were the best games, what were the worst. I've also done a whole video of why I hate Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask and Skyward Sword are like the only two Legend of Zelda games that I do not enjoy playing at all. And unfortunately, this video is going to be talking about a game that might be joining the ranks of Zelda games that I do not enjoy playing. And sadly, I think I'm gonna have to give the third Zelda game that I do not enjoy to Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, a lot of Zelda fans out there who love Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Just like, it was different. It was completely different. Like, being able to play as Zelda throughout the game. It's about time we got a Zelda game. I wish it had been funner than Echoes of Wisdom actually was. Now that we finally get a Zelda game where you're playing as Zelda. The beginning of the game was fun. Like, it is intense. It starts out with Link infiltrating this castle, and he's fighting these Darknuts. Then he's, like, going through this side-scroller maze. You have no idea where he's trying to get to. Obviously, he's trying to save Zelda. But this part is probably, like, one of the very few parts of the game that I actually did like. I did enjoy the fact that Link does fight Ganon at the beginning of this game. Like, Ocarina of Time, we do have him in Link's Nightmare. There's also Tears of the Kingdom, where Ganondorf breaks the Master Sword at the beginning of the game when Link is going to fight him. But with this one, we have Ganondorf in his blue big form, and you know, like, he's slashing out Link with his trident, and then they're playing Dead Man's Volley. It was cool that they're having their fight at the beginning of this game. So far, I would say the beginning, like, probably first 20 minutes of the game are actually enjoyable. But for me, the rest of the game kind of went downhill. The game Breath of the Wild probably has one of the best Legend of Zelda openings ever to an open world Zelda game. And I do enjoy that this Zelda game kind of interpreted that when you finally get to play as Zelda as the main character of the game. Like, she escapes the dungeon she was held captive in, she escapes this rift that sucked Link and Ganondorf in, and we get this, like, cute little, like, almost amiibo-like Zelda running to this, outpost overlooking, Hyrule. The world of Hyrule, and then we get the title of the game in the corner, similar to how it was in Breath of the Wild. That was cool. I like that it was a callback to Breath of the Wild's opening. I enjoyed that. It is fun playing as Zelda, being able to explore the world of her game, The Legend of Zelda. Like, it's fun to explore Castletown. The music to it is something that I love of Castletown. Like, it gives you a peaceful feeling, yet adventurous at the same time. I really enjoyed that. It's fun to be able to, like, explore the castle, to explore Zelda's bedroom. And, yeah, once we talk to the king in this game, Zelda's father, that's how the story starts. He gets sucked into the rift, and, like, what you need to know at the beginning of this game, like, rifts are appearing all over Hyrule. Like, it's sucking good people in, and their, like, evil counterpart is coming out, which is a cool concept for the game. Anyway, like, the evil king, he says that Zelda is the cause of everything that's happening, so she has to be sent to the prison. She gets put in the prison where she meets her companion, this little, like, I'd say she's kind of like Naffy, but less annoying. But she meets this little fairy named Tri who gives Zelda this wand. She's able to create things like boxes, trees, whatever she can be able to create a copy of, she creates a copy of using the thing called the Tri wand. And using the Tri wand, she's able to escape the dungeon with the help of Impa, her caretaker, and she goes on the journey to try to stop the rifts and to figure out what the hell's going on in Hyrule. I do wish that the game had been more creative with Zelda's combat. Like, yeah, she's able to, like, create these copies of different things that she can use to fight her enemies. And with her wand, she can cut down the grass. And, like, during the first dungeon, after you beat a shadow version of Link, you're able to get his sword. And once Zelda uses his sword, she can make, like, a clone copy of Link that's herself. So she can fight and stuff. But still, it's like, she can cut down the grass with her wand, yet she can't really use the wand as a weapon herself unless she becomes Link, then she can attack her enemies. To me, that makes no sense. Plus, it's not really that fun to play as her version of Link, because next to her health, she has this, like, energy bar, and it can deplete so quickly as she's fighting Link. If you're up against, like, a tough enemy or something, and you're playing as the copy as Link, the energy bar can go down so quickly. It's like, what the hell happened? I was just barely Link. Now I'm back to being a worthless damsel in distress. I wish that the game had been more creative with their dungeon enemies. It's just the mini-boss theme so far every time has just been a different version of Link. It's just, the combat is not great in this game. I didn't enjoy it at all. Something I do think is kind of funny, though, is that if Zelda is going on her journey and she's running low on health, she can use her wand to create an echo of a bed, where there's our three types of bed. There's like an original bed, a prison bed, there's the Gerudo bed, and then there's Princess Zelda's bed. And the longer you rest in each bed, her health will slowly start to come back. I mean, throughout the game, you can drink these smoothies that these Deku scrubs will sell to you. Those can bring back your health as well as energy to turn into Link again. But I do kind of like the fact that they brought the bed thing back, that you can get hearts back from sleeping on beds. They use the same thing in, like, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So, I'm glad that concept was used again, because I think it's kind of funny you can regain health from sleeping in a bed. I just do. I like it. The still world of Hyrule is pretty cool. It's the world behind the rifts, kind of like a parallel world of Hyrule. It's pretty cool. Like, I do like the fact that you go to the still world to, like, get to the temples basically most of the time of the game. But there are times when you just go to the still world to find more of Tri's friends throughout the game. And as Tri gets stronger throughout the game, like gets more power from her friends or through the temple bosses that you beat, she can be able to have more abilities. Like, she has a tail made of triangles, and sometimes more power she gets, another triangle will be added to her tail, so you have more power to create stronger echoes that you can use throughout the game to accomplish different stuff. Or sometimes what I prefer is that the stronger she gets, the less echoes it takes to create, or less triangles it takes to create strong echoes, which becomes really useful in the game. So the still world is cool to go to just because you can go in and out and not be good or evil Zelda, but it's fun to explore. Like, it does have a feeling of there's nothingness, that you gotta save these people that are stuck in the rifts in the still world. It's a cool concept. I did enjoy that of Echoes of Wisdom. Something I did like about this game is that it has a lot of callbacks to some different games. Like, it actually has Jabu Jabu in this game, and the way that there's actually like a cutscene of it where Jabu Jabu goes crazy and he swallows these two kids, and it's exactly the way that Link gets swallowed by Jabu Jabu in Ocarina of Time. You know, when he offers up the fish and ends up getting swallowed. That's like exactly what happens with these kids in Jabu Jabu. And the water temple for this game was actually pretty cool. I like that it was all dark, so you always needed like this little anglerfish swimming with you so you could see where you're swimming. I thought it was cool, but the boss of this temple was just not fun. It was basically just a giant shrimp that would create these like whirlpools, and it would like create 3 at a time, and Link, once Zelda avoided them, the shrimp would be tired, and then you could like transform into Link and slice up these little bubbles on its back to destroy it. It gave me same boring boss feelings that Gyrog did in Majora's Mask. So the water temple itself was good, but the boss, no. Not so good. That's the thing about the temples. I do wish they had put more creative thought into it. Like, it honestly felt like this was a Zelda game meant for kids. Like, I'm used to the temples actually offering a kind of a puzzling challenge to them, but this one was pretty easy. Although in the Fire Temple, it was easy puzzles to get through. I did enjoy the boss of it. The fact that they brought Volvagia back into it was pretty cool. And the fight with Volvagia is pretty similar to the fight that Link has with him in Ocarina of Time, where Volvagia would like pop out of holes of the lava, and Link would use the Goron hammer to smash Volvagia's head. The platform in this game is very different, but if you can transform into Link, it's fun to do the same thing. Just slash up Volvagia with the sword. It was a fun boss fight for that one. I'm not saying the game was terrible. Now that I talk about it more, it's not a horrible game. Like, I do enjoy bits of it. Like, going on the Frozen Mountain. I loved exploring Hyrule, basically. Like, the Frozen Mountain, seeing the enemies that you can fight with, like, different echoes you have. Like, fighting the ice enemies with fire enemies. It's fun. Like, even though Zelda herself isn't part of the combat, it is fun to be able to defeat these enemies and to be able to create them yourself to fight other enemies. That was pretty cool. Though I do wish you could stay as Link longer than you actually could. But yeah, for what it's worth, the combat's just okay, I guess. Like, it is fun using magic to fight enemies, but kinda wish it was different. I do feel like this game really was trying to be another Princess Peach Showtime, which, compared to Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I prefer Princess Peach Showtime 100%, because with Princess Peach, it's actually Peach doing stuff. Like, she can be a sword fighter, she can be a mermaid, she can be a ninja, doing all these combat moves, fighting all these enemies of the main enemy of the game. It's just, with Princess Peach Showtime, it actually feels like Princess Peach is the main character of the game, and it's what the player wanted in this game. Whether with Echoes of Wisdom, it's just kind of like, even though Zelda's the main playable character in it, she's taking a back row seat because she's having these echoes do all the fighting, or she's transforming into another version of Link to do the fighting. It's different, but I have to say, I prefer Princess Peach Showtime 100% over this.
Well, excuse me, Princess.
So, in the end, what would I give this game? That's hard, actually. Combat isn't great. The story is just okay. Just going around Hyrule, fixing the rifts, going to super easy temples. It is nice seeing old characters from different games and having callbacks from different games being put into this one. I do wish combat was better. I do wish the boss fights were funner. I would give this a 5 out of 10, honestly. I do wish, like, Zelda could actually fight instead of relying on Echoes mostly to fight. That's another thing. Echoes, like, they take the longest time to rev up. They'll wait like 10 seconds to do an attack. And most of the time, their attack will miss the enemy, which is really frustrating. Because the enemy will be focused on attacking Zelda, and the Echo will attack and miss. So you're Zelda running around avoiding attacks, and yeah, you can't even rely on your own army, if I would word that right. You just can't rely on them. Can't rely on anyone yourself these days. So yeah, anyway, I would give Echoes of Wisdom 5 out of 10. Anyway, that is the whole video. I haven't completely finished this game. I think I'm like 50% through. But I think I've gotten the gist of it. I think what I've talked about in this video, I think that's basically what the rest of this game is gonna be like. Just traveling to different areas of Hyrule now, just getting more echoes. But basically, I've covered everything about it. And honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this game. Like other Zelda games, I've been like, kind of like, I'm not tempted, but just like, it's been my goal to finish the Zelda games. Even Majora's Mask, I hated that game, and yet I had the goal to finish it to see how it ended. But with Echoes of Wisdom, I really don't care how it ends. It just, I will probably finish it, but I just don't care to keep playing it, because I get bored. I get bored playing it. Anyway, that is the video. I hope you liked it. If you agreed with what I've said about this game, leave a comment of what you think of this game. Give it a thumbs up if you've watched the whole video. And subscribe if you'd like to. I'd really appreciate it if you just would subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I may or may not finish this game, depending on how I'm feeling about it. Anyway, that's what I gotta say about this game. 5 out of 10 game, kinda like it, kinda don't. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you next time.